So online, in the world, in politics, socially, in the community, there are a lot of arguments, discussions, or whatever it might be. This camera is a little bit tilted. Oh yeah, that's a little bit better. Where I see so lots of discourse and discussions, conflicts, and arguments where if you kind of simplify those arguments, it really feels it's only about kind of defending your own team or using the other team's perspective as the reason for why you hate them or why you kind of fight against them. And while there are many cases where that is, I don't want to really say justified, but understandable, it also always seems to make those discussions overly complicated and overly passionately driven from, in my humble opinion, a completely misplaced perspective. So, for example, you see a lot of kind of discussions in politics where people don't want to kind of acknowledge a good take from the other side because it's the other side. They don't want to admit, okay, that is the point that I give you, but other than that, I really dislike what you are trying to achieve. Or other discussions in society. Oh, that person is that gender and that is why that person is maybe toxic, or that person is that gender and therefore this and that applies and that is why this discussion is too emotionally driven or whatever. Or then there is discussions where it's all about, okay, that person has this religion and therefore I cannot listen to anything what that person is saying. And all of these discussions to me seem, again, to a degree justified, but because its own, in air quotes, and I oversimplify here, and I understand that this is a huge oversimplification, but I really want to bring a point across. You see these discussions where it's all about, okay, this is my position, you are in the other team, again, oversimplified, and therefore I cannot agree on anything that you're saying, or you are this and that, and therefore I hate you and I don't want to listen to anything of you. And it fuels, in a very negative way, some of these discussions and some of these arguments where I'm coming from a position, or I feel like it would be much easier and much more recommendable to take those things out of the equation and just say, okay, that person acts like a dick. That person is an asshole, no matter the gender, no matter the religion, no matter the political affiliation or whatever. That person is acting right now in this moment like an asshole. Therefore, I don't like you because you are doing this at this moment. It would make it so much easier because, especially in lots of political situations that also kind of are inflicted in combination with religion, you see these, okay, you did this, I don't know, many years ago, therefore we have to do this. Oh, okay, you did that. And it makes it so complicated. And understand politics, religion, and stuff like that. I don't want to dismiss that those are invaluable arguments. I'm just saying, I'm oversimplifying here, and I know there are going to be lots of comments because this is a very not controversial, but very what's the word? I missed the word. I don't know. It's a very difficult topic, and again, I feel like in some discussions, people are very, very close-minded as soon as they kind of put themselves on one side and then they see their, in air quotes, opponent on the other side, and then it's all about you versus me, this side versus this side, team 1 versus team B. And also, using that as the only argument and scapegoat to kind of vilify the other person or the other side. Instead of just saying, you're an asshole. You act like an asshole. You did this and that is wrong. It has nothing to do with, I don't know, your politics, your religion, your gender, or sexual orientation. Because nowadays, I feel like all of the internet discussions are purely, or not purely, but very driven by those narratives. Instead of just saying, that person is an asshole. He or she acts like an asshole. It doesn't matter, because those people then also say, oh, you're just saying that because I'm this or that. And I would say, no, it has nothing to do with this or that, X, Y, B, C, or whatever. It's just because you're acting like a dick. You're acting like an asshole, and excuse my language here, but it's the best way to describe it, because there are so many people act out and then just say something along the lines, oh, you're just saying that because I'm this or that. Or the other way around. I'm saying you are this, that's why you are an asshole. And I think that is the wrong way, in my humble opinion, the wrong way to lead a discussion. If it's only based on one side versus the other, that discussion cannot lead anywhere, because suddenly those sides become very close-minded and only see, okay, I'm now in a debating club. I need to debate my side, and I cannot by any means, and I won't not understand or listen to the other side. It seems that way in many discussions that I see on the internet at the moment, no matter what the topic might be. And personally, in many situations, I can boil it down. I don't see the gender, the color of the skin. I don't see the religion, which usually you can't see anyways, in my own opinion. I don't see the political affiliation. And I'm just looking, okay, what is that person saying at the moment? What is that person doing at the moment? Do I feel like that is an asshole move or not? And that makes it, for me at least, so much easier. And yes, of course, there are sometimes situations. For example, I would have a hard time to lead a discussion with a KKK member, but I want to have a discussion that doesn't lead into shouting, and to have a discussion that doesn't lead into violence, be it verbally or physically. You kind of need to give the other person a chance to talk and to kind of be felt that that person is being heard. And give those, because usually, at least from my experience, the people that are kind of escaping into extremism felt like they've never been heard. And having a fight between teams leads to not listening to the other side. And that is why I feel like it would be so much easier if you would just look at the person and look at the human being. That maybe is the best word. Look at that person as a human being, disregard anything else, and then look, what is the person saying right now? What is the person doing? Am I considering that an asshole or a dick move? If yes, why is that person doing that? And then base your counter arguments or your discussion on that, because no discussion, from my personal experience, is going anywhere as soon as one person doesn't feel hurt, not H-U-R-T, but H-E-R-A-R-D. And if that person doesn't feel hurt, then it usually leads into screaming, and those discussions don't go anywhere. This is just something that I really wanted to talk about, because I see it so many times online, be it politically, and I switched off politics because at the moment it's just too much on my shoulders or in my mental state. That's why I watch yes, I made a video a few episodes back that I sometimes watch reality TV, and then I see those discussions, and I feel like you base these discussions on this side Team B versus Team A thing, and it's so stupid. If you would just kind of boil it down to the moves, as her moves that person is doing, it would be so much easier for you to lead the discussion, because now the other person uses that Team A versus Team B argument as a counter argument that argument from the other team isn't valid, and that's kind of stupid. So yeah, that's just something that I really wanted to talk about. And yeah, always leave a comment below. What are your opinions about that? And maybe check out my video from yesterday up here. YouTube thinks they liked your video on here. Don't forget to subscribe by clicking the button up here. That way we see each other tomorrow. Thank you very much.